Welcome to Orion Philosophy, where we explore, discuss, and dissect areas of practical philosophy for use in everyday life. Working within our sphere of control, we are naturally free, independent, and strong. Beyond that sphere, we are weak, limited, and dependent. If you pin your hopes on things outside your control, taking upon yourself things which rightfully belong to others, you are liable to stumble, fall, suffer, and blame both gods and men. You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. Begin each day by telling yourself, today I shall be meeting with interference, ingratitude, insolence, disloyalty, ill will, and selfishness. All of them due to the offender's ignorance of what is good or evil. But for my part, I have long perceived the nature of good and its nobility, the nature of evil and its meanness, and also the nature of the culprit himself, who is my brother. Not in the physical sense, but as a fellow creature similarly endowed with reason and a share of the divine. Therefore, none of these things can injure me, for nobody can implicate me on what is degrading. Neither can I be angry with my brother or fall foul of him. For he and I were born to work together, like a man's two hands, feet, or eyelids, or the upper and lower rows of his teeth. To obstruct each other is against nature's law, and what is irritation or aversion but a form of obstruction? If any man despises me, that is his problem. My only concern is not doing or saying anything deserving of contempt. Any person capable of angering you becomes your master. He can anger you only when you permit yourself to be disturbed by him. At dawn, when you have trouble getting out of bed, tell yourself, I have to go to work as a human being. What do I have to complain of if I'm going to do what I was born for? The things I was brought into the world to do? Or is this what I was created for, to huddle under the blankets and stay warm? So you were born to feel nice, instead of doing things and experiencing them. Don't you see the plants, the birds, the ants and spiders and bees, going about their individual tasks, putting the world in order as best they can? And you're not willing to do your job as a human being. Why aren't you running to do what your nature demands? You don't love yourself enough, or you'd love your nature too, and what it demands of you. Keep this thought handy when you feel a fit of rage coming on. It isn't manly to be enraged. Rather, gentleness and civility are more human, and therefore manlier. A real man doesn't give way to anger and discontent, and such a person has strength, courage, and endurance. Unlike the angry and complaining, the nearer a man comes to a calm mind, the closer he is to strength. How much more grievous are the consequences of anger than the cause of it? In the same degree in which a man's mind is nearer to freedom from all passion, in the same degree also it is nearer to strength. The best revenge is not to be like your enemy. When we act pugnaciously and injuriously and angrily and rudely, to what level have we degenerated? To the level of the wild beasts. Well, the fact is that some of us are wild beasts of a larger size, while others are little animals, malignant and petty. You must completely control your desire and shift your avoidance to what lies within your reasoned choice. You must no longer feel anger, resentment, envy, or regret. If you would cure anger, do not feed it. Say to yourself, I used to be angry every day, then every other day, now every third day or fourth day. When you reach 30 days, offer a sacrifice of thanksgiving to the gods. In the long run, every man will pay the penalty for his own misdeeds. When you are offended at any man's fault, turn to yourself and study your own failings. Then you will forget your anger. The entire world would perish if pity were not to limit anger. Anger, if not restrained, is frequently more hurtful to us than the injury that provokes it. Anger is like a ruin which, in falling upon its victim, breaks itself to pieces. What is more cruel than anger? What is more affectionate to others than man? Yet what is more savage against them than anger? Mankind is born for mutual assistance, anger for mutual ruin. How much better to heal than to seek revenge from injury? Vengeance wastes a lot of time and exposes you to many more injuries than the first that sparked it. Anger always outlasts hurt. Best to take the opposite course. The greatest remedy for anger is delay. If you want to determine the nature of anything, entrust it to time. When the sea is stormy, you can see nothing clearly. Anger, though concealed, is betrayed by countenance. That anger is not warrantable which has seen two suns. In one respect, man is the nearest thing to me, so far as I must do good to men and endure them. But so far as some men make themselves obstacles to my proper acts, man becomes to me one of the things which are indifferent, no less than the sun or the wind or a wild beast. Now it is true that these may impede my action, but they are no impediments to my effects or my disposition, which have the power of acting conditionally and changing. For the mind converts and changes every hindrance to its activity into an aid, and so that which is a hindrance is made a furtherance to an act, and that which is an obstacle on the road helps us on this road. It is silly to try to escape other people's faults. They are inescapable. Just try to escape your own. If you were distressed by anything external, the pain is not due to the thing itself, but to your estimate of it, and this you have the power to revoke at any moment. You always have the option of having no opinion. There is never any need to get worked up or trouble your soul about things you can't control. These things are not asking to be judged by you. Leave them alone. Time is like a river made up of events which happen, and a violent stream. For as soon as a thing has been seen, it is carried away, and another comes in its place, and this will be carried away too. When you arise in the morning, think of what a precious privilege it is to be alive, to breathe, to think, to enjoy, to love. Outside our power are our physical characteristics, the class into which we're born, our reputation in the eyes of others, and honors and offices that may be bestowed on us. Working within our sphere of control, we are naturally free, independent, and strong. Beyond that sphere, we are weak, limited, and dependent. If you pin your hopes on the things outside your control, taking upon yourself which rightfully belongs to others, you are liable to stumble, fall, suffer, and blame both gods and men. But if you focus your attention on what is truly your own concern, and leave to others what concerns them, then you will be in charge of your interior life. There is only one way to happiness, and that is to cease worrying about the things which are beyond the power of our will. If anyone tells you that a certain person speaks ill of you, do not make excuses about what is said of you, but answer, "He was ignorant to my other faults, else he would not have mentioned these alone." To bear trials with a calm mind robs misfortune of its strength and burden.